Hello guys and welcome to my The Nefilslayer monster review. He is a dark galactic era lifesteal and bane attacker. So, an apocalyptic battle between monsters and demons was interrupted by the ground-shaking footsteps of a gigantic armored hunter. This mysterious titan destroyed the demons and saved monster kind. But his quest didn't stop there. The Nefilslayer is still out there, hunting down evil wherever he can find it. Alright, so he's like the epitome of a bounty hunter. This does make a lot of sense with his trait, which is Undead Hater. So, his finisher, King of Strongor. Alright. I mean, I feel like it'd make more sense if we had any idea what that meant. So, pretty cool animation. It applies fear to all enemies, does moderate dark damage to all enemies, applies bleed and nightmares. So it's really all about that denial, as I think he has strong enough AoEs in his normal skill set that this isn't really about the damage. It's just about applying fear to all enemies and shutting them down. I always like it when it's like a denier or an attacker with that kind of move, because it means it just throws in something that could win you the match. Because an attacker can attack. If that's not winning you the match, maybe denial is exactly what you need so that they can't take a turn in and heal or deny, and then you kill them. So I like it when their finisher can throw in something that they can't do themselves. So let's talk about his trait. At rank 0, we have trait Tough. All status effects have a 35% less accuracy against this target. Alright, a pretty good trait, all things considered. It'll make enemies miss a hefty amount of times, and I really like it. So it's an umbrella status caster. Still, you're going to be hit with quite a few negative status effects, but this is drastically reducing what'll land. Then we have Gravedigger, a trait you don't see that often. Immune to possession, corruption, and nightmares. Pretty good. Possession and corruption are pretty popular in the meta, and nightmares, I swear, is in every single dark monster. I know. Plus, this gives you an immunity to possession and corruption, which usually, if you have immunity to possession, people can still get you with corruption. So that I like that he's immune to both without having to be an abomination. Then he has Undead Hater, which is kind of weird because he's in the Undead book, so he'd hunt himself. But, you know, I guess some people are just sacrilegious like that. Triple damage against monsters in an Undead book. Luckily for haters now, they are classified as traits, so they can only be trait disabled away. So this monster, once you get him to rank 3, will always be destroying any undead monster. This means in war, I think he could be a pretty formidable war pick, because if you're fighting another undead monster, boom, this guy can instant kill no matter what. Unless they're also dark, which is a possibility. So, not that good, but I still like the hater. And then Random Elemental Hater. Applies at the start of the battle, applies a random elemental hater to itself. Hater gives triple damage. Alright. So yeah, that last one's RNG. So overall, I think his trait isn't good and not bad at the same time. Like, it's all pretty useful traits. I like Tough. I like Gravedigger. Although Gravedigger is like situational at best. I like Undead Hater just because in his own restriction, he's one of the most powerful monsters, just being able to like instant kill his enemies. And then Random Elemental Hater, that's really RNG. You've got to be a pro to get a monster like this to rank 5 just for that. But yeah, without further ado, let's see what this monster can do. Alright, so where are you? Let's feed this monster to level 100. So boom. I will say I do quite like his animations, and I find it kind of funny that he has like Lego hands. To fit around that axe, it looks exactly like a Lego hand. But yeah, his design is pretty cool. His belt being eyes with the horns is really awesome. But is he good enough to be a viable pick for you, or is he just kind of a waste of an attacker? Let's see. First, we have Clean Cut. Deals moderate dark damage to one enemy, applies bleed to one enemy. Alright, it's completely spammable, so this already gives it some good contention. Maybe you run it just in case you get denied stamina removal or cooldown activation. Plus, it comes with a dot, but it's really low damage, so it's iffy. Then you have Knight's Aura. Applies fear to one enemy. I do quite like this. On 0 cooldown, 20 stamina. So, fear is the only denial with a chance to chain deny for a good while. So using fear on this monster is definitely a good thing, because it gives him a viability that other attackers don't have, which is applying fear. Then we have Hatchet Soul Snatch. Alright, that was a mouthful. Deals very heavy dark damage to one enemy, steals life from one enemy. Wow, that is a lot of damage. Wow, okay, I might like this attacker just because of his massive raw damage output, because that is a lot of damage. On a 1-turn cooldown, 32 stamina, you can spam this every other turn, and it's not one of those crazy high stamina skills. So I quite like this move. Plus, this is one of those moves where you attack with it, and you regain all of the health you lost right back. So that's pretty awesome. We have Sinister Chevalier. Alright, applies Fear to one enemy and Bane. A really powerful dot with a really powerful denial. You can only apply it to one monster, and it doesn't do any damage. So it's a maybe for me. Maybe you just run it so that he has that denying capability, but I don't know if that's going to be one of the moves you run. 1-turn cooldown, 40 stamina. It's not too costly. We have Polymade's Pros. Applies a random hater to status effect to itself and a dark hater to itself. Alright, so really weird. He's really out to kill himself because he has dark hater when he's a dark monster. He has undead hater when he's an undead monster. So if you fought, like, if you were in a copy match where you're fighting another Nefilslayer or monsters like him, like Lord Inheritor is also undead and in the dark books, he could destroy them. But personally, I don't think that's what this kind of monster is for. You don't get them to fight themselves. So on a 45 stamina and 2-turn cooldown, I don't think it's worth it, honestly. It might be fun just to have a random elemental hater, but I don't think you're ever going to actually use it in a match. And then we have Slash Storm. You see what I mean? This is heavy dark damage to all enemies and applies bleed. So 50 stamina, 2-turn cooldown. It is pretty hefty, but it is worth it for a massive AoE like this on a monster this strong. Then we have Spirit Spillage. Deals moderate dark damage to one enemy, steals life from target, and applies Bane. Alright, so 3-turn cooldown, 58 stamina. It's kind of just a worse version of Hatchet Soul Snatch. Like, for more stamina cost and way more cooldown, it does less damage, but it also applies Bane. Personally, I think you don't need to run it since you have Hatchet Soul Snatch. Maybe you run them both just so that you can, like, chain steal life. But honestly, I think you just need Hatchet Soul Snatch, and that's it. Because lower stamina is lower cooldown, you could spam this faster than you could spam this. So I'm just going to say no. Then we have Axe Executor. Deals massive dark damage to one enemy. Requires cooldown. 66 stamina, but only a 1-turn cooldown. So as long as you run some sort of stamina regaining skill on this monster, he is going to be a deadly attacker. That, when I look at that, I see an instant kill on Uriel the Divine. So amazing skill, definitely worth running in my mind. 1-turn cooldown, you could do this and this spamming. So you have a lot of like chain damage potential. You could do massive, then very heavy, heal your life back, then massive, then very heavy. Only thing to keep in mind with these is that there's a high stamina cost. So just run some sort of stamina regaining move, or like maybe pair him with Omni-Crab per se, because she has like a stamina regeneration status caster. So something like that would work, but I think this monster has really great damage output, and healing himself, I really like it. Although, is it good enough for him to be considered a viable monster? We'll see. And then, for his last move, you can really run any of these. It's all up to your preference. Do you want to run Sinister Chevalier just to have fear, or do you want to run Knight's Aura just to have an almost spammable fear without having to waste all that stamina? Honestly, I think I'm going to run Knight's Aura, to be honest. I think this is just fun to have fear in his skill set. Plus, with these massive attacks, and the low cooldown on these, I don't think you really need an attack like this. So, with that being said, that is the skill set we're going to play with. And now let's take him out into PvP. First, Relics, thank goodness. So he can hold Killer Rogue's armor, meaning he can have stamina regeneration. So that stamina cost isn't, like, going to doom him. Like, a lot of monsters, they'll have, like, a lot of attackers, they'll have a lot of stamina cost on their skills, and they'll have double swords, so they can't even refill it. So I'm really glad he has that armor. And we're definitely going to run this guy in a rainbow build, because he's stealing life, and he's a dark monster in the fire meta. So, alright, let's go level 5s. Boom, do that. And then 2 level 5 strengths. Alright, I'm definitely going to run him with Omni-Crab to try and equalize his low strength stat. Just because he's at rank 0, and he's going to get beat around the block at rank 0. So, with that being said, let's take this guy out to PvP to showcase him. So, I'm going to switch you out for the Nefilslayer. And keep in mind, he can hold Galactic Era relics. No, not relics, talents at rank 1. So keep in mind while you see his playthrough that if there's a really good Galactic Era talent, like let's per se Holter's Gun, he could instant kill, then get another turn and instant kill again. So keep your mind open. He's not an Abyssal Era monster where like at rank 0, you're basically seeing their full potential other than traits, and even then it's impossible to rank them up. Plus, you can still use this guy in the rank up survival dungeon and rank him up. So he's got pretty good potential. All right, I'm seeing a lot of what I want to see. Because there is a Uriel the Divine who is perfect for the Nefilslayer, because that is exactly who I want to fight. All right, boom. I'm going to cleanse off you guys. Oh, and he's a dark hater. No, he's an undead hater. So if I had him at a higher rank, he could probably instant kill Lord Inheritor, although he's also of the dark element, which is something I mentioned, right? He's a dark monster who has a dark hater, and he's an undead monster who has an undead hater. So fighting other monsters of his same category is a massive disadvantage, but the saving grace is he has a big advantage against them. So I think I'm just gonna turn transfer, boom, and let's say I had lost any health. This would be amazing. I would be able to instantly kill him and receive all of my health back. So I think, which one do I want to do? I'm going to do this one because they have the lower stamina cost. You revive, and now let's see. Will I live again? Aura of Faith. All right, Dictum. All right, Doom Nation. Hey, he lives. Dark on dark. Boom, boom, boom. And then we're going to turn transfer back to you. And we're going to kill you. And the thing about Lord Inheritor is that he's dark on dark, so he wouldn't be able to do that much damage, and that gives viability to the fact that he can apply fear. So I would just apply fear to him if I couldn't do enough damage, and then I'd set up for like double damage and then end up killing him. So there's a lot of good things about him. I do love that he can heal himself with his attacks. I love that both of his strongest attacks are on a 1-turn cooldown. And I love that he has fear. But with all that being said, I don't think this is going to be a monster you use a lot. As showcased right here, he is a dark monster in the incredibly powerful light meta. And I just don't think it's going to work out, sadly. He's definitely a fun monster. I want to rank him up just to use him in war, because I think he could be a great pick there. But overall, I'm going to say his viability just isn't there for what it's worth. Look, another Earth monster, which against Earth monsters like Fropsy, Uriel, and King Autumn, he does have that advantage. But I honestly don't know if it's worth it. So, boom. I'm going to turn transfer to you. All right. And what do I want to do? I'm going to do Axe Executor. Sadly, I didn't have any of my damage boost on. Boom. Do this. Boom. What do I want to do? I guess I could try and just kill you myself, and then I'll turn transfer and let you kill Omnia. Boom. What? I don't have any mask? Weird. Boom. Turn transfer. Recharge to myself. Cleanse that away. And then turn transfer to you. And look at this. Oh, I can't kill. They have dodge area, so my AoE isn't going to do it. I'm going to give you fear. And now look at that. I am protected against it. So what I want to do here, I think I'm just going to heal, although I think he's going to instant kill someone. Yeah, I was about to say. And then boom, look, 2 turns denied. See, when you can't kill, he has fear in his back pocket to actually deny them. So it gives him this extra viability that I think is really important to mention. So boom, boom. All right, planetary alignment. Nefilslayer goes first. We are going to kill you. And look, I heal back all of the health that I lost. He's one of those monsters who has not only self-healing potential, sustainability through massive attacks, meaning he can heal a lot of health just because of how much damage he's doing. But he also has fear. So he can keep him denied, he can beat him up, he can get his life back. I think he's an amazing pick, but sadly, I just think his cons outweigh his pros. His trait is like super situational other than tough. Tough, I've got to say I like. And, against a lot of the earth monsters in the meta, which there are quite a few, he performs pretty well. But just being a dark monster in a light meta just really kind of screws him over. He is definitely your Uriel killer, but I think there's a lot better options for that because there's a lot of monsters who are just like dark, strong attackers, and people just call him the Uriel killer. I don't think he's good enough to take the title. So I'm going to turn transfer to you. I think Dark Voltaic is going to take me to town. Not too much I can do here, so I'm just going to do my strongest attack against you. Boom. And that is another thing. Monsters from this era, the Abyssal era, have insane stats. It's almost impossible to defend against. So with all that being shown, I think that's going to be about it for my review. Hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you got the monster, even if you can't use him in the meta too much. I think he's a fun monster, so I hope you got them. If you enjoyed the video, if you found it helpful, which I really hope you did, please consider leaving a like. It shows support to my video, and it helps it a lot in the algorithm. Please leave a comment. Leave your thoughts on this monster down below. Do you like them? Do you think they're bad? Do you think they're worthless, or do you think they have like hidden potential? Personally, I like the monster, but I don't think he's viable, so I don't want to advertise him as an amazing monster. And subscribe to join the Crab Army. We are this close to overthrowing Avergo in subscribers, and that is my big goal. And I also want to hit 500 subscribers before summer. So with those two goals in mind, the Crab Army can definitely do this. I believe in you guys. Thank you so much for believing in and supporting me. You watching the video this far is all the support I need. So yeah, hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you found it helpful. I hope you have an amazing day, and I hope to see you in the next one. That's about it. Your favorite Omni-Crab, signing out.